Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's been a while again since I've been posting, and I have been busy. I have moved over the summer, and I've built a new studio. And in this studio, I have about 8 square meters of space. So of course, the only rational thing to do is to fill it up with guitar cabinets and have some fun with microphone recording. As you can see here, I am working here on the Fredman technique, and this is what this microphone is about. Sorry, this video is about. God, it's late. Anyway, gotta make videos. So I 3D printed this 55-degree angle Fredman clip with a friend, and I have these microphones set up dead center and on an angle. And what I thought would be really fun today would be to do a bit of a shootout between 3 different speakers. This speaker up top in this angle cabinet is very, very special because it has the exact date code on it as the same vintage 30 speakers. Yeah, it's a vintage 30. It has the exact same date code on it as the speakers that were used to record Blackwater Park. I couldn't really believe it, but John Brown, my friend, he found a speaker with that date code and sent it to me, and I'm super elated and super happy for that. So, of course, what do you have to do? You have to Fredman mic it and play around with it. But it's not really, this is not an attempt to get the Blackwater Park sound as such, but it's just playing around with Fredman miking. The cabinet matters a lot. Behind it I have another angle cabinet, a 4x12, which is actually also extremely close in the date codes, and just moving between the cabinets has a huge impact on the overall sound that you record through the microphones, believe it or not. But that's a story for another day. Down below we have a Marshall 1936 cabinet. This is a 2x12 cabinet. And on the right side here we have a Greenback from 2003, and on the left side we have a T75. And these are both 16 ohm speakers, and it's a 90s T3075, I think early 90s, I can't remember right now. It's being recorded with that PRS that you see in the foreground, and it's running into my Laney VH100 with settings that you see here. And what is worth noting is that I've actually realized that it's better to disable the boost, the extra tube gain stage, because it becomes a little bit clearer when you record. I did a video recently on the Laney GS 412 cabinet with HH speakers, and in hindsight I should have turned the gain down a little bit, and especially when you multi-track you wanna turn the gain down. So what I did was just turn a gain stage off, but still dime whatever gain stage that was left. Anyway, that is basically the setup for today. I think the only thing I'm missing to say is that that's a custom 24 with full shred pickups, but that is what that is. So we're gonna dive into what happens when you Fredman mic on a superficial level. That is, I have in front of me a lot of audio recordings that we're gonna listen to, and I'll explain them here. First, we have the straight mics. We have the V30 straight, the Greenback, and the T75 straight. Then after that, we have the angled mics. V30 angled, Greenback angled, and T75 angled. And then finally we have the summed mics, that is the angled and the straight mic together. And that is the Fredman technique. Then I go a little bit further, and I have combinations of the vintage 30 and the Greenback, the vintage 30 and the T75, and of course the Greenback and the T75. So combinations of pairs, and then finally we can listen to all of them together. And what's really important here is that I have actually taken the time to level match all of these clips together. So when we play, let me just show here we have a straight, and we have an angled. When they get summed together, the level is perfect. So we don't get this confusion that happens with the human psyche when you have things of different levels. These are all aligned by lufs, so it should all be exactly the same level or levels that are close enough for like comparative listening. But without further ado, let's start with the V30 and listen to what it sounds when you Fredman mic it. But we're starting with the straight microphone and then we angled, and I'm just gonna change or switch between them so you can listen to them. All right. So we hear very clearly, especially on all of the speakers, we will hear that the straight signal is much darker than the angled signal. But both of them sound pretty good. I would say with the V30 here, it's pretty gnarly. And then add it together. Sounds pretty good. One more time, just switching between the three versions. So I think the most interesting thing here is actually that the final thing, it sounds more like the angled microphone alone than it sounds like the main speaker. But the theory that I have for this here is basically that the angled microphone contains way less high-end information, but it contains almost the same low-end information as the straight one. So there are phasing differences between these microphones, and that's maybe a story for another day. But basically you have subtle phase changes. But it also means that where the phasing is not aligned, it will cancel each other out a little bit. But where they are aligned, when you have two signals with the same information, it will just get stronger. So the V30 straight on here has a more high-end information, but almost the same low information as in the low end as the angled one, and then finally summed together, it will sound more like the angled one, but with a little bit more cut. Let me just go through them one more time. Yeah, so that's actually kind of the cool trick, is that you get this really you get a warm but more defined sound. And I just want to say that I haven't done any high cutting or any EQing on this at all. We're just listening to the straight microphones, and there's definitely a little bit of room resonance in them, but that's just what I got in my studio right now. It's a relatively small studio, but you can hear that. Anyway, let's move on to the Greenback, and I'm gonna do that a little bit faster. We're gonna listen to the straight microphone, then the angled microphone, and the summed microphone. Oh, that was the T75. Wake up. Okay, geez, let's go. Greenback. Yeah, that was super nice. I really like the Greenback actually. And here we have the T75 going again. And again, I think especially with the T75, it's very, very cutting on the straightforward one. And then it's warmer. And then add it together. Okay, so that was that. Now let us compare the three speakers on the straight microphone. And if I had to put words to it, which is always hard, I would say that the Vintage 30 sounds a little cold and cutting, and it's also very, very sort of bright and cold and cutting in the 2x12 cabinet. The Greenback is full and sort of very broad frequency, very sort of harmonically rich. It also has a lot more low mids. And the T75 is just gnarly. And of course we're listening to the straight microphone, so we are also really getting them full on. I'm starting to warm up to the T75 through this test, and as we see later, if you add it with other speakers, it becomes pretty cool. Anyway, just a quick run through of the angle sounds. Yeah, also fun. And of course, now we are at the most fun part, which is how do these speakers sound in comparison to each other as Fredman mic speakers. Let's go. I mean, sorry, I if anyone's confused, they probably left, but the Vintage 30 is top, Greenback is next, and then the T75. Sorry if that's not clear. Vintage 30, Greenback, T75. Okay, let's go again. Fredman mic'd. Yeah, let's do it just again. And the eagle-eared listener, if there's such a term, will notice that the riffs are not completely the same, but it's just a quick comparison. Anyway, let us then go to the fun part, which is the Vintage 30 and the Greenback. So we have the Vintage 30, the Greenback, and then summed together. And again, this is completely level matched, so you will just hear the differences in the voicing. I'm going to play each of them separately, and then we will go into the summed one. And this is a really, really cool sound. The Vintage 30 and the Greenback is kind of very studio Fredman, so to speak. I'm just going to play the full or have this by itself so you can really listen to it. Yeah, super nice. And then we have the Vintage 30 and the T75. And let me see if I can dig them out. Where we have the Vintage 30, T75, and the Sum. So just half of a clip with the single speakers, and then the rest will be with the mix. It's a really evil, gnarly kind of sound. So just let's go from the Vintage 30 to the mix. So the T75 actually, I kind of find that it sort of reinforces the The T35 kind of reinforces the Vintage 30 in a mix. It doesn't overpower it or make it something different. It kind of complements it a little bit. It's an interesting mix for sure. And then we have a Greenback and the T75. The Greenback by itself, the T75 by itself, and then finally Greenback and T75. Okay. That's a really, really cool sound, honestly. There's a ton of rumble in it. I would honestly just go in with an EQ and high pass it, because it is very, very, very rumbly at this point. But just a subtle, or not so subtle high pass. So yeah, super cool. In this case, the second part of the riff isn't being played exactly the same by both of them, but it is still a really, really cool sound. And then finally, what we have all really been waiting for is how do they sound together? And it comes here. And I think it sounds extremely, extremely cool. I hadn't actually properly prepared for this, but let me just play it in the context of a song. And I'm really excited about this song, actually. This is just an overdub as I was opening while recording the video. But yeah, I hope it comes out someday. That was just some solo stuff. And some more. But here we go. Yeah, what can I say? I'm excited about this. I'm having a lot of fun recording real speakers, real cabinets with real microphones compared to impulse responses. I kind of feel like there's like a low end difference, a warmth difference. Also, you get just more difference between, I don't know if you really do, but you know, like the speaker impedance affects the negative feedback in the amps and blah blah blah. But it's so much more complicated, but it's also in a way more rewarding, and you get more like your sound by doing it. So yeah, Anyway, that was it for this time. Thank you so much for tagging along, and do comment with your own Fredman miking experiences. And thank you so much for following, and see you next time.